9, 10 months ago, is that if there's no action by the land developer,
Right.
I don't mean about phase 2, I'm talking about
Yeah.
everything, that if they come in, that's going to be more difficult. You're sharing in this case that...
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
But
I mean, the intent is there.
this is my client's living. He's
Sure.
not making money right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Not doing
No, I
anything.
understand. And I think that he's doing well.
Ken is saying
Sure.
he's working on phase 1.
Yes.
He's got some extension on phase 2. What have you done on phase 2?
Phase
Is
2.
it still as it was a year ago?
They're just moving equipment over. Again, there's a subdivision up the street called Goshen Properties.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I just want...
They're now...
for phase 2.
Right.
Right.
Well, we'd asked you to show us some activities in the application, but phase 2 hasn't been touched. You might
As I sit here, I don't know that what's
Oh,
going
I'm
on.
saying.
Yeah, I think
If it's for phase 1, I agree with everything you just said. Phase 2.
No, except...
Okay,
let me share...
Correct, phase 2 hasn't been touched.
Exactly.
From what I understand.
I think you're correct. I guess where I'm at is if you look at the whole application, he's working, spending money. I'm not trying to convince anybody.
Yeah.
But I see an applicant in good faith spending $1 gazillion out there today. He's on phase 1 because that's what he wants to get ready first to sell the houses out.
And the purpose for phasing is to be able to devote the money in the
To
phase
the-
1 first,
Right.
so that in other words, if you were going to work on phase 2 now, you would just do the whole thing and not have them phasing it off.
Right.
So that's the purpose of phasing.
I'm more sensitive to the portion where they can't do the bonding and you can't get the money and you can't get the letter of credit because of the tenor of the times. That part I don't
And I can tell you,
understand.
I've been talking...
Otherwise, we wouldn't have a situation here.
Well, it used to be you
Yeah.
sign a 1%
Right.
fee for a letter of credit,
I know.
and it would be, they wouldn't be spending money on me to stand here to talk to you.
Right,
But see, what we don't want to do is we don't want someone to come in, and year out, so that 20 years from now, they're still under the old zoning. And I think what I'm seeing thus far is there's activity to include 2 houses that are in the ground that say this guy's in the business of making houses, where some subdivisions, I don't see anything. And they'll be here before long. So we should see the differential between the 2.
They'll all be here.
All right, I think we understand the request.
I just needed to know, are you in here because of time limitations? I'm not sure if we
Yeah, we
do
are.
have time. So the point is, when you're saying you don't...
October 28th.
Well, okay, so...
You've got 3 meetings.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I thought we were right up against the time limitation.
No,
That's why I'm voicing...
They
my
diligently
opinion now.
pursued it, and that's why they came in at this
All
time.
right.
Frankly, the big problem would be is if you guys denied it, we would not have time to go to the planning board to convert that to conditional final. So there is a significant clock ticking, because if this isn't granted, I don't know what happens with the phase 2.
Well, let me ask Dennis a minute ago, you're getting our legal advice. What are we going to learn from our attorneys and planners that we don't know already?
Possibly nothing. Again, I just don't know. Much like the answers to questions tonight, we're not even sure where the lots are. But
Well,
I know you have an idea of the project, et cetera. It's just a question of...
Maps, files,
Oh, absolutely.
and they've got some kind of approval.
Yeah, and you may or may not want to
Yeah.
pursue any additional information. You may have sufficient data at the present time.
I suggest that maybe what we do is on Thursday night, I'll try to get clarification from the board so we can figure out what we're going to do.
Well, I'll have Mr. Esposito be prepared Thursday night to have the maps here, and he'll be able to show you that.
Okay, well, whatever, I think I can get them from the zoning group. I think what we're at is, what do we as a board want to do and use as criteria for extending it? And so that we can apply it across all of these people who will be coming.
Fair enough.
And I think the criteria we've got to look at is the earnest effort that they're doing, any of these builders. I think we can find out so what I'm going to recommend, unless the board would like Mr. Esposito here on Thursday night, I don't need him here. I'll try to get the information and we'll proceed on with it on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you for hearing us at the last moment. And
No, that's fine. Very good.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, Bill. Probably thought we'd get to you.
Can I just
It's late at night.
I know, it seems like we're...
Bill's still here.
Just to interject, what you all should do is revisit the discussions and the applications we had previously, because you're going to need to develop criteria,
That's,
either previously given or now developed, with regards, whatever your action is, be it affirmative or negative. Because again, you're going to probably concern, upset, and/or possibly alienate certain people, be they citizenry or applicants.
right.
And again, it's a question of developing the proper protocol to make your decision.
Oh, absolutely, that's what I'm saying. We need to have some criteria to evaluate.
And that was my suggestion, again, going to the planning board and/or the engineers, because I assume they can readily provide that, as opposed to us reinventing the wheel.
Right, I mean, we've looked at this thing.
But I think
on
it's
and
not so
tonight.
much the, to us,
Well, I guess where I'm going is, activity alone is not going to cut it. Legally speaking, the case law is such that activity
Okay.
alone will not, in other words, these people breaking ground or doing activity, it's certainly an indication, but it's not determinative, as opposed to another applicant who has done nothing.
well, I don't have much,
Understand?
we told them, there are a
Oh,
couple.
I agree.
They were here last time.
Understand.
Not this particular, but there were some that, no activity.
Absolutely.
We were not gonna go over and over and over again, extend it such that 20 years hence, they were
Right.
still sitting there,
Right.
they're gonna do the old.
It's evidence it's been abandoned. But what I'm saying is a whole methodology and criteria you're going to need to develop.
But I think the criteria, which we were just talking about, like
Right.
phase one, he's spending money on it, well, you can't get to phase two until he finishes phase one because of limited resources. But he's doing something, and he's a bona fideable, builder. I look at that different than I would someone who's up in a corner with 20 lots and they haven't done anything. You know,
But I think I know where Dennis is going.
I do
with this
too.
thing.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
Well-
if you do it for one, you're kind of setting a precedent for everybody else that's coming down the pike, and everybody can say, the economy is rotten now, so therefore I need an extension.
I'm not looking at the economy.
We can take it on a case-by-case basis, can't we, Dennis? We can
And you
take it on a
should.
case-by-case
Right, as
basis.
long as you have the methodology and the criteria.
Right.
Set up now.
Right.
That's right.
So that you have it for all of the ones
Yeah.
that.
And that was, again,
We will start this on Thursday.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to comment, I mean, the comment I want to make was that, again, I felt that, and I have no problem with the applicant, one way or another. All I'm saying to you is that you had better document and establish your protocols before you take any action, because we were getting very close to a consensus being voiced by the board individually, which collectively would have formed a majority, and we haven't even developed criteria yet, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, yeah, that's the only reason I interjected that.
Well, the basic criteria was there to grant the first extension, to allow them to be grandfathered to begin with, Dennis. I mean, we have so much criteria, we're being buried under it, other than additional legal fees, which...
I understand.
No disrespect.
No, and I'm trying to avoid that,
But
can
I'm
you follow?
saying, I
I'm trying to avoid that.
I know.
Okay, what I'm gonna try to do between now and Thursday, I'm
Yeah.
gonna deal with the planning office,
Yeah.
dig out some,
Right.
and some of the notes from our
Yeah.
last meeting.
Yeah.
But I remember explicitly,
Oh, I agree.
we said, no activity.
Right, but I think it's self-evident. Any applicant who's granted an extension,
Right.
the only people who will be dissatisfied or aggrieved may be surrounding property owners who might bring in Article 78. Any applicant who's denied an extension will absolutely bring litigation. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm saying to you. You want to protect yourself and get your arm
No,
around it.
you're attorney for the town, you gotta keep us in the right way.
Well, that's what it's, again, I was just concerned if, again, you were de facto voicing consent or approval
No,
for the
I was talking about some, what
activities.
we said the last time
No
around.
question.
Bringing everybody up to speed on what we had said, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, between now and Thursday.
But when they came to us the last time, and there was a few of them, I don't want to mention names, we told them
Right.
what you just said. We
Right.
did.
Right, you did.
I don't know if you want to call it criteria. I think it's a criteria in a sense, and one that needed to do some environmental things. I'm not going to mention the name, and I even told them, don't wait. If you're going to do it in the spring, don't wait till till the following 9 months from now when you're pressing right against the door.
Yeah.
So we did tell them in a sense. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, so we don't prolong it.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Neil, or Ralph, or
Yeah.
whatever, between now and Thursday, we'll try to put something together.
You gotta have a
to see.
template. Exactly.
Okay.
And
Very good.
so
Because I don't want to get
if
sued
we were
either.
gonna pass this, and whenever we pass it or reject it or whatever it is, that all that homework will be done.
Right.
So we'll have a
Exactly.
set criteria for why we allowed this one to get a extension and maybe others
Correct.
not.
And just so you understand, Bluestein's comment about the timing and the timeline, if in fact it was evident that the board might not grant an extension, they must, within the time limits, go back to the planning board, apply for or pursue the application to get conditional final. What he was alluding to was, and again, that's the applicant's issue. They're running out of time to do that.
Sure.
That's always, it's their application.